Hey, this is Justin from breakintocre.com, and in today's video, we're going to talk about catch-up structures in a real estate equity waterfall model and how they work. So if you've heard of a GP catch-up in the past, but you're not exactly sure the mechanics of how a GP catch-up actually works in practice, make sure to stick around for this video. Now on this channel, we talk about real estate investment careers and real estate financial modeling and analysis. So if you're looking to break into real estate private equity or brokerage for the first time, or you're looking to do your first commercial real estate investment deal, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I release a new video. So if you've clicked on this video, you likely know that many real estate investments are bought in a partnership. And generally what that looks like is that the partnership is going to be made up of a GP, or a general partner, that's going to be responsible for the day-to-day operations and the major decision-making on the property, and the LP, or the limited partner, which is generally going to be the silent capital partner on the deal. Now, since the general partner or GP is going to be doing the majority of the work on the deal, oftentimes there's going to be an outsized profit split, assuming that that general partner exceeds investor return expectations. And what that's called is an equity waterfall structure in a real estate deal. Now, one of those waterfall structures that's sometimes used in real estate deals and often used in real estate funds is something called a GP catch-up structure. So in this video, we're going to go over what a GP catch-up structure is and also explain specifically how it's used in real estate. So to go over this, let's first talk about the building blocks of any sort of waterfall structure in real estate. And we'll start this by talking about the preferred rate of return, which is essentially the rate of return that the limited partner needs to achieve before that general operating partner receives any sort of uneven profit split. So if the limited partner, or LP, says to the GP, or the general partner, I'll invest 90% of the equity and I expect an 8% annualized rate of return, but then over that 8% annualized rate of return, you can take 50% of whatever my profit share would be, that 8% IRR is going to be the preferred return hurdle. So if we're talking specifically about GP catch-up structures, how does the preferred return actually come into play? Well, the way I like to think about it is that the preferred return is really the gatekeeper before any sort of promoted interest or outsized returns can be generated by that general partner. Meaning that the limited partner has to at least achieve that 8% IRR or whatever that preferred rate of return is before that GP earns any sort of outsized profits on the deal. So generally how this is going to work in real estate is that the LP and the GP are going to split cash flows in proportion to the percentage of equity that they've invested. So if the limited partner invested 90% of the equity and the general partner invested 10% of the equity, then up to that 8% internal rate of return, or whatever that preferred rate of return is, the LP will get 90% of the cash flows and the GP will get 10% of the cash flows. Now, sometimes you'll actually see 100% of the cash flows going to that LP before the GP sees anything. So in that case, it's really an incentive for the GP to perform and make sure that the investment hits those targeted returns. But now, what happens to the cash flow split once that preferred 8% IRR is hit? Well, once we get here, that is where that GP catch-up comes into play. So usually what you'll see in a GP catch-up structure is you'll have a certain cash flow split within that GP catch-up structure up to a certain overall cash flow split of the entire deal. So really over that preferred return, the catch-up is a quick way for that general partner to get to a certain overall profit percentage on the deal. So for example, you may have heard of a 50-50 catch-up, which essentially means that over that 8% preferred return, or whatever that preferred return is, 50% of those cash flows are going to go to the GP and 50% are going to go to the LP. Now this only occurs up to a certain maximum cash flow split for that general partner. So in the example with the 8% preferred return, what you often might see is that over that 8% preferred return, there will be a 50-50 catch-up up to the point that the GP has earned 20% of the overall cash flows on the deal. And from that point, the cash flows will generally be split 20% to that GP, and 80% to that LP, really maxing out that cash flow split for the GP at 20%. Now, obviously, this number varies deal to deal, but generally what you'll see is a preferred return and then a catch-up structure and then a profit split over that catch-up structure. So you can kind of imagine this as a pyramid based on the example that we just used. So if the GP invested 10% of the equity and the LP invested 90% of the equity, then in this pyramid, you can picture at the base of the pyramid, you have a 90-10 cash flow split until that 8% IRR is hit. Then in the middle of the pyramid, you have a 50-50 cash flow split until the GP has received 20% of the overall cash flows on the deal. And then finally, at the top of the pyramid, above that, there will be an 80-20 split between the LP and the GP, resulting in the GP receiving 20% of the overall cash flows on the deal. Now, this is definitely one of the most complex waterfall structures out there in real estate and gets even more complex when you try to actually model this in Excel. So if you're looking to be able to model a GP catch-up in Excel, I've just released a new course called the Advanced Real Estate Equity Waterfall Modeling class, and that course is going to walk you step by step through how to model a GP catch-up and also how to model things like an LP clawback, cash-on-cash preferred return hurdles, deals with dual preferred return targets with an IRR, an equity multiple hurdle, and the ins and outs of each of these structures. So if you're interested in learning more, I'll link that course in the description below. And if you're looking to really take a deep dive into real estate investment analysis overall, make sure to check out Break Into CRE Academy. I'll link that in the description as well. And membership in the Academy includes all Break Into CRE courses, all models, and some additional one-on-one support to take you where you want to go in your real estate investment career. So if you like this video and want to see more content like this, make sure to let me know by hitting that like button. That's how I come up with new content for this channel. Make sure to share this with anyone else who might find this helpful, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content that we post. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.